stand up for me, but you could take 5, 6, 7, 8 pages to file a motion, tens and thousands of dollars to file a motion.
Tell me what you want from me. You're my MVP. I need something concrete. You gotta bear with me.
What's up, y'all? It's your girl back with another one. And baby, we got a lot to unpack today because this story right here, it's wild from start to finish. We're talking about Teyana Taylor. And listen, if you think you know her story, you don't know the half of it. See, this is about what happens when you get signed by Pharrell Williams at 15 years old and then nothing. What happens when Kanye West promises you the world and delivers half an album? What happens when the person sleeping next to you at night becomes more dangerous to your career than the entire music industry combined? Teyana Taylor burned it all down and rebuilt on her own terms. And her greatest revenge? Thriving without the people who held her back. So buckle up, because we're about to go on a journey. From Harlem to Hollywood, from being somebody's secret weapon to becoming her own empire. Let's get into it. Teyana Taylor was born December 10th, 1990, in Harlem, New York. Now, if you know anything about Harlem, you know that place don't play. It's where legends are made, where you gotta have thick skin and even thicker attitude to survive. Her parents, Nikki Taylor and Tito Smith, raised a daughter who had that Harlem energy from day one. And baby, from the time she was a little girl, Teyana was a performer. We're talking dancing, entertaining, putting on shows for anybody who would watch.
I can't believe I got a Range Rover. That's $100,000 car.
That girl had star quality written all over her, and it wasn't long before the industry took notice. At just 15 years old, 15, Teyana signed her first record deal with Pharrell Williams' Star Trek Entertainment in 2005. Now hold on, let me say that again. Pharrell Williams, the Neptunes. One of the biggest producers in the game saw something special in this Harlem teenager and said, "Yeah, I want you on my label." And if that wasn't enough, she appeared on MTV's My Super Sweet 16. But here's the thing, she wasn't on there being a spoiled brat like some of those other kids. Nah, she was on there announcing her arrival. This was her way of saying, "I'm here, I'm talented, and y'all better pay attention." And we did pay attention. We all thought we were about to witness the birth of a superstar. Fast forward to 2007, and Teyana does something that should have catapulted her to the top. She choreographed Beyoncé's Ring the Alarm video. At like 16, 17 years old, she's working with the biggest artist in the world. That's a huge milestone, the kind of credit that should open every door in the industry. But here's where things start getting messy. Despite all that early promise, despite being signed to Pharrell, despite the Beyoncé cosign, her debut album kept getting delayed, and delayed again. The industry moved at a snail's pace, full of bureaucracy and broken promises. But Teyana wasn't the type to just sit around waiting. She stayed visible, appearing on MTV spin-offs, modeling, choreographing for other artists. She was everywhere but on the radio with her own music. Then in 2009, she gets another major cosign. Kanye West signs her to Good Music. Now at this point, most people would be jumping for joy, right? Pharrell didn't work out, but now you got Kanye? That's like hitting the lottery twice. But yet again, no album, more waiting, more delays, more disappointment. Can you imagine how frustrating that must have been? You got two of the biggest names in music betting on you, and somehow you still can't get your music out to the world. So we get to 2010, 2011, 2012, and Teyana still doesn't have an album out. Meanwhile, everybody else on Good Music is thriving. People are getting their projects, going on tour, winning awards, and Teyana is just waiting. Now, the industry whispers started. You know how it goes. People started saying she was difficult, that she was overhyped, that maybe she didn't have what it takes. But here's the reality, and I need y'all to understand this. The industry didn't know how to market a woman who could do everything. She could sing, dance, act, direct, and style. She was a complete package, and instead of celebrating that, they didn't know where to put her. Was she a singer, a dancer, a model? They wanted her in a box, and Teyana Taylor does not fit in boxes, so she stayed in limbo while less talented people passed her by. But then, oh, and baby, when I tell you this is where everything changed, in 2014, Kanye West's Fade video happened.
Roll up, hold up, pull up.
Now, this video didn't premiere right away. It came out at the 2016 MTV VMAs, and listen, the internet was not ready. Teyana showed up to that gym and gave us a performance that was powerful, sensual, athletic, and completely unforgettable. She was dancing in sports bras and bike shorts, doing moves that had people's jaws on the floor. The strength, the fluidity, the raw sexuality of it all. It was art. It was athletic excellence. It was everything. That video went viral. And I'm not talking a little viral. I'm talking over 100 million views on YouTube viral. People were in awe of her artistry. The video got nominated for Best Choreography at the VMAs, and suddenly everybody who had slept on Teyana Taylor was wide awake. This was her moment, finally. Now, technically, her debut album 7, that's the Roman numeral 7, which is significant, and we'll get to that, came out in June 2014, just before the Fade video blew up.
Just text your phone, nigga, where you at?
But y'all, this album dropped 7 years after she signed with Pharrell. 7 years. Can you imagine waiting that long to put out your first project? Most artists would have given up. Most artists would have been forgotten. But when 7 finally came out, it debuted at #1 on the Billboard Top R&B Hip Hop Albums chart. #1. It was praised for its old school feel, its raw emotion, its authenticity. Critics loved it. Fans loved it. It was everything she'd been promising all those years. Teyana had finally arrived, but the journey was far from over. Now let's talk about the love story, because for a while there, Teyana and Iman Shumpert were relationship goals. Like, they were the couple everybody looked up to. In 2013, Teyana gave birth to their first daughter, Junie. And here's where it gets wild. Iman delivered the baby at home. Not in a hospital, at home. It was this whole beautiful natural birth story that had people swooning. They became this beloved celebrity couple. In 2016, they got married, looking all kinds of gorgeous. Then in 2020, they had their second daughter. True, the family content was wholesome, the love seemed real, and everybody was calling them relationship goals. But baby, as we now know, things behind closed doors were very different from what we were seeing on Instagram. Let's jump to 2018. Kanye brings Teyana out to Wyoming for these album sessions he's doing. She records KTSE, Keep That Same Energy, and Kanye executive produces it. Now this should have been a good thing, right? Wrong.
Thinking about what you gon' do. I hope that you'll see it through.
The album felt rushed. It felt incomplete. And Teyana was not happy about it. She publicly called out Kanye for releasing the album without her final approval. She said he put it out before she could finish it the way she wanted. This exposed something a lot of people don't talk about, the lack of creative control artists have. Even when they're talented, even when they're proven, Teyana had to put her name on something she didn't feel was ready. And that hurt, but she learned from it. Because in 2020, she released the album, fully independent, fully her vision. And baby, it was a critical success. She had Lauryn Hill, Rick Ross, Missy Elliott, Quavo, Future, Erykah Badu. The features were insane, the production was top tier, and this time it was all on her terms.
Play catch with the honey. Love is the new money.
That was her statement. No label interference, no compromises. Just pure Teyana. But while her career was finally taking off on her own terms, her personal life was falling apart. See, behind all those cute Instagram posts and relationship goals content, tension was building between Teyana and Iman. There were financial disagreements, parenting issues, career pressures, things that the public wasn't seeing. In January 2023, Iman filed for divorce, with the separation dated back to November 2022. And baby, what followed was a custody battle that got ugly real fast. Now this is where things get real messy. So let me break down what Teyana accused Iman of in these court documents. Financial irresponsibility. She claimed he wasn't handling money right, wasn't being responsible with what they had built together, jealousy and career sabotage. Now this is the big one. Teyana accused Iman of being jealous of her success and actively trying to sabotage her career. Think about that. The man you married, the father of your children, allegedly trying to hold you back because he couldn't handle you shining.
I'm telling you as the mother of our children that I don't feel safe, and you're on this phone starting an argument.
Manipulative and narcissistic behavior. She said he was playing mind games, twisting situations, classic narcissist tactics. She was asking for primary custody of both Junie and Rue, trying to protect her daughters from all of this. Iman denied everything. He countersued, brought up alienation claims, tried to flip the narrative. The media had a field day with it. Fans were divided. Some people were Team Teyana, some were Team Iman, and everybody had an opinion. Then reports started surfacing in late 2023 of Iman being seen with other women. Photos, sightings, the whole nine. And while Teyana stayed mostly silent publicly, she'd post these cryptic messages on social media about betrayal, about knowing your worth, about walking away from toxicity. The financial battle got even messier. Teyana claims she was the real breadwinner in the relationship. Now, Iman made good money in the NBA. We're talking about $16 million over his career. But Teyana was saying that she brought in more, that she was carrying the family financially while he was getting all the credit. The divorce proceedings dragged on into mid-2024. It was exhausting to watch. So I can only imagine how exhausting it was to live through.
We're both very secure.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? When we understand what the prize is, we're not worried about if anybody is stepping outside of that prize trying to look for.
But then something beautiful happened. By early 2025, rumors started linking Teyana with British actor Aaron Pierre. You might know him from The Underground Railroad.
I want you to tell on me. I have to trust you on that, but I'm getting on the way from here. I have to.
Old, or Rebel Ridge. Talented brother, fine as wine, and by all accounts, a good man.
What's your name?
I must be in shock. I'm numb. I'm not feeling the pain no more. C is my contingency. That's the restaurant owner you put out of business this morning. And there it is.
By By June 2025, the relationship was confirmed. And y'all, this seemed different. It was mature, private, built on mutual respect. Aaron was supportive of Teyana's career, respected her independence, and even bonded with her daughters. This marked a new chapter for Teyana, a peaceful one, a healing one. After all the chaos with Iman, she found someone who celebrated her instead of competing with her. Sometimes you gotta go through the storm to appreciate the sunshine. Now let's rewind a bit to December 2020, because this is important. At just 30 years old, Teyana announced her retirement from music. She said she was exhausted, tired of fighting with labels, tired of being undervalued. She had a quote that really stuck with people. "I ain't got nothing to prove to nobody except to myself." She walked away to protect her peace. And honestly, good for her. Too many artists kill themselves trying to prove something to an industry that doesn't appreciate them. Teyana said, "Nah, I'm good. I'm out." But here's the thing about Teyana. She doesn't know how to sit still. Retirement didn't mean disappearing. It meant reinvention.
23 positions in a one-night stand.
In 2021, she appeared in Coming to America, and she impressed people who didn't even know she could act.
Not a boat, or a plane, or a snore.
Snort.
Snort.
Stop.
You're not a boat.
But the real breakthrough came in 2023 with 1001.
Tell me more about your foster mother. You like her? She's probably gone. Anyway.
Baby, let me tell you about this performance. She played Inez, a mother struggling to raise her son in New York. It was raw, emotional, deeply personal. The kind of role that shows you're not just a musician playing dress-up in Hollywood, you're a real actress.
What's wrong with the one I gave you?
It's corny.
I wouldn't buy your own toy then.
Critics from Variety, The Hollywood Reporter, all the major outlets praised her performance. She proved that she's not just the girl from the Fade video or the dancer or the singer. She's a serious actress who can hold her own in dramatic roles. But she didn't stop there. In 2024, she starred in The Book of Clarence with Lakeith Stanfield. She was building a legitimate film career, choosing strong artistic roles instead of just chasing paychecks. She kept directing videos too, for Chloe Bailey, Monet Exchange, and others. She launched her own production company called The Aunties, focused on telling Black women's stories.
But I recognize me in you. Not only was I raised by a single mother, but I am a single mother. Okay?
And then, in 2024, she did something interesting. Remember when she retired from music? Well, she came back for a tour with Jeremy, the Later That Night tour. She dominated festival stages, sold out shows, and reminded everybody why she's a legend. But this time it was different. This time it was on her terms. No label telling her what to do. No contracts controlling her. This was Teyana Taylor doing what she loves because she wants to, not because she has to. That's real retirement, doing what you want, when you want, how you want. As we head into 2025 and 2026, Teyana is working on multiple film projects. She's developing a docuseries about her life. She's executive producing new shows. She's fully independent, no label, no middlemen, no gatekeepers. Her net worth is estimated at around $5 million. Now, some people might hear that and think it's not a lot compared to other celebrities. But here's what matters. Teyana controls every single cent she makes. She's not splitting it with labels or managers who held her back for years. And despite Iman's $16 million NBA earnings, she built her own empire. She never needed him financially. She was always her own woman.
Don't play with me. What the hell is your problem?
Yo, you're right. Well,
you already know what it is.
Yo, well, let's
you
get.
know what it is.
Yo, let's get to it.
Now, it hasn't all been smooth sailing. In 2023, there were rumors of tension between Teyana and Lauryn Hill over a failed collaboration. We don't know all the details, but in this industry, even legends have falling outs. The Fade video is still debated to this day. Some people praised it as art, as a celebration of the female body and athleticism. Others criticized it for being too sexual, too provocative. Teyana defended herself against those double standards, pointing out that men can be shirtless and sexual in videos all day long and nobody says anything. But let a woman own her sexuality, and suddenly it's a problem. She's also been vocal about the struggles Black women face in the entertainment industry. The lack of creative control, the way they're often used and discarded, the unrealistic expectations placed on them, especially around postpartum body image after she bounced back so quickly after having her kids. And we can't talk about Teyana without mentioning the persistent Rihanna beef rumors. For years, people tried to create this rivalry between them. Both women have denied any real feud, but you know how fans are. They see what they want to see and run with it. So where does Teyana Taylor go from here? She's planning to direct a feature film. She's mentoring young artists from Harlem, giving back to the community that raised her. She's focused on motherhood, raising Junie and Rue to be fearless, independent young women who don't need anybody's validation. She's balancing love with Aaron, her art, and her authenticity. And through it all, she's stayed true to who she is. See, Teyana Taylor never compromised. Not for Pharrell, not for Kanye, not for the labels, not for Iman, not for fame, not for the industry. She walked through fire and came out stronger. She was underestimated, undervalued, and overlooked. But she kept going. She pivoted, reinvented herself, and built an empire on her own terms. Teyana Taylor didn't just survive the industry, or she conquered it by refusing to play by their rules. She showed us that sometimes the people holding you back are the ones closest to you. That real success means doing it your way, even if it takes longer. That walking away doesn't mean giving up. It means knowing your worth. From that 15-year-old girl signed to Pharrell to the independent mogul she is today, Teyana's story is one of resilience, reinvention, and refusing to be anybody's secret weapon. She became her own superhero. And that right there is what makes her a legend. If this story taught you something, if it inspired you, or if you've been sleeping on Teyana Taylor's greatness, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment letting me know what part of her story resonated with you the most. Until next time, y'all, stay blessed, stay focused, and never let anybody dim your light. Peace.